Live stream here on lichess, International Master William Paschall. What's up? We've got Friday Open Blitz challenges. Thanks for bringing up one of my most embarrassing moments, Acerbate. We've got challenges, open challenges to anybody who's willing to challenge me at specifically 5+3 casual. You have to have an established rating here on lichess. I'm not going to play anybody with provisional or less than 100 games. Bjorn Carlson, Troll on a Roll, Someone on Sound, excuse me, Mr. Slowhand, and Sumahair. I don't know why I said Someone on Sound. I must be thinking about him. Is he online or something? Alright, Someone on Sound, Still Sleep, Dreaming of Sugar Plums. Bjorn Carlson, Troll on a Roll, Mr. Slowhand, and Sumahair. Play Like Kasparov back. Alright guys, so all regulars, waiting for the stream to start, notified the stream is starting. But I am willing to play anybody, new noobs. Let's go. Alright. Waking up is hard to do. Good morning, B-Jack. Zen mode. I like to start quietly. I might have played something similar against Bjorn Carlson last time. He always waits and he's the first one. So I'm going to play him every time in the first game on Fridays. But I appreciate you guys, excited to play. This London system, again? Yeah, we had the same game last week. What do I do with these people, with the London system? I played the exact same opening last time, trying to start quietly with knight f3, e3. I'm going for the bishop. That's what the good players would do against me. Once I played bishop f4, queen's Indian. I remember against Sabo Christian or someone pretty good. Maybe I just misremembering. I can't remember now. Someone used this idea of knight h5 against me. Maybe I just saw someone else doing it. It's funny how our memory is like that. Sometimes I, in my experiences, have started to change my own memories. Does anybody else have the same thing? We'll go to the pawn to home office. I was thinking of wiring up some guinea pig cam. We've got the guinea pig here around, and I know a lot of people like to watch the animals in the wild. Rather than a stuffed panda, we could have a live guinea pig cam. What's up, everybody? Stuffed panda not providing a lot of action, really, whereas a live pet might be a little different. A little more excitement, perhaps. Not really interested in that g7 pawn, although I guess a materialist would take it. I'm basically fianchettoed. It's a queen's Indian in reverse. Reminds you your parents got you hamsters. Hamsters? I never had hamsters. I remember when I was a kid, my mother was a school teacher and they had pets in the class, so sometimes she would bring home these gerbils. But the gerbils were horrible. They just bite really hard. I got nailed by one of them. That's not fun. You're bringing back my gerbil bite memory. Guinea pigs are really cool pets, highly recommended. I guess hamsters are similar, but don't recommend gerbils. Or I don't know about rats and mice. That might be cool. I would suppose they bite as well. Ferrets maybe. Anyway, we'll have the pet discussions another time. Now, Queen C7. I can't begin to explain like how much I hate this London system crap. You're going to expand your horizons by playing something else, Virat Carlson. You can't play the London system all your life. Branch out. Guinea pigs are cool. And they're really, really well behaved. They go back in their house, even after they break out. They sort of have like built-in homing device. Yeah, Vera Carlson is like the quintessential London system player. It's annoying. The same thing with both colors every single game. It's like, you don't play the London with white? Are you serious? Oh, we've only played 18 games, which is not too many. I was thinking of someone else then. Usually most people do, though. They just play one setup, and that way they don't have to learn a lot of theory. But I can't begin to say how much I hate this. You pique my ire when you play the London system. Hatred for all who play the London system. Alright, he's got his pieces trapped. But I mean, there could be some danger of moving my G-pawn. I like open positions. My main thing. Now, which piece do we want? We can play G5 and trap that. The other thing is I'm not in a hurry. I'm not in a hurry to take the knight. Objectively, I should take it. The question is when. When and how. Alright, well, I'm up a piece here. He shouldn't have enough compensation. My dark square bishop's not really working, in case we haven't noticed yet. Alright. Bishop's not doing much for me there. Let's open it up. And also this makes sense, right? With my other diagonal. Wow. I don't know which way to go first. G4. Shame it's not mate. It really is. Professor Moriarty. All right. No. Rook h1 troll. Did you know that bishops move backwards? You're aware of that, right? It doesn't work that way in chess 960. Damn, dude. That's not a pawn on c6. Alright. It's still early. Little too all or nothing. That's another thing I don't get about that London system setup where they're castling queenside. Why do we have to play chess like it's all or nothing? Just play chess, you know. It might be a win, it might be a draw, but play chess and play a controlled game, you know, like you don't have to go all or nothing every game. A lot of people play like that, and I don't agree with the style. But I mean, I'm a tournament player who's played in like 30 plus grandmaster round robins, so draws are sort of part and parcel for me, but it's part of the game. But I encounter a lot of opponents who's like they'll just either lose and go completely nuts or win, but there's no in between. It doesn't have to be like that. Like you can play for a win without like burning all your bridges down the entire game. That's what I aspire to do, you know, to try to win in a controlled fashion. You don't have to go nuts every game. Alright, Troll is good like that. He doesn't try to go nuts. He tries to play a controlled game where he plays to incrementally improve his position. This is classic school of Botvinnik school. We've got a little problem here with the setup I've chosen. White square control is non-existent. So things could get a little weird. At least my rooks are centralized. Not sure where to put my queen here. Not your average queen. How's my knight doing on h8, by the way? Maybe f5 is not that stupid. This is a deep move. Stabilizing our control of the center. Control insta-taking. Instantly giving up his central pawn on e4 without even thinking about it twice. Quite a decision. I think you stand better if you can maintain that pawn on e4. knight on h8 is the worst. He got his off the corner square, but I've got mine stuck. If knight g6 has nowhere to go, maybe here. Out and back. The other problem is knight e4 could happen. Tricks based on the fact that my f pawn is pinned. Welcome to the stream. We're hosting Blitz challenges. Waking up slowly here. Not big on waking up early. But I have to do streams in the mornings a lot of the time due to work commitments. So it is what it is. Alright. I would love to stream later in the day, but we have to teach. Troll. I wish you would play knight d2. Blocking your bishop. Actually, you couldn't. You would just drop it directly. Alright. Symmetrical pawn structure. There it is. Thank you. Good game. Nice knowing you. Early in the morning there in Kazakhstan. What is that? Palau. Sorry. Yeah, it was similar to the Kazakh flag. I thought you were in Kazakhstan. Troll's very mysterious. Mr. Sohan play like Kasparov and Tanubov. Oh, now you have knight e4. I know. Tannenbaum. Alright. Glump. That was good. Can I have another? We're just up a piece. Everything's protected. Except for that. Everything's protected except for that. Oof. Alright, we've got g6. It's a little like a puzzle here. Can I puzzleize him? Rook e3. This doesn't do anything. Whatever. I wanted to play g6, but he has knight f2, avoiding losing material. Might as well have just played it, though. It was probably as good as anything. Man, Troll's just capable of so much more if he did tactics. I see tactics, but I'm slow. Troll just doesn't calculate at all. Let's see, how's our stream title's good? lichess.org in the stream. I don't have any bots. I don't have bot viewers, so I don't do that. So if you guys support the stream, appreciate it. I know a lot of other streamers have bots. Don't do that here. So if you can, tell your friends, relatives, children, grandparents, force them to watch. We need all the live viewers we can get. Rook e3, what are we going to do? Troll, very bad, allowing a simple tactic like d4. Alright, what's this? Self-pin. Self-pinning. Rye moves. Nice vocabulary. We don't see rye every day, James. Excellent vocabulary. Alright. Bishop d7. I'm going to keep the pin. I missed that move. Now the defensive function of the bishop is blocked. I'm threatening knight d6. Troll is adhering to the old principle of if you're down a piece, try to trade everything off. Very well-known advice. When down material, try to trade all the pieces off. Extremely common strategy. He has defended. But I don't have some sort of tactical blunder here. Looks like I'm close. Lucky I don't lose a piece here. Knight f6, rook e1, king f1, and my bishop on g8 is almost trapped. I happen to have a move there. A troll hung another piece. When down pieces hang more. Troll. Another troll sort of message to live by. Mr. Slow, Kasparov, it's going to get tough now. Mr. Slow, he's a little stronger than his rating. Mr. Slow, he's a little stronger than his rating grind. Play like Kasparov and Tanubov, which we haven't played before. Alright. Rye moves. Rye bread. English is such a difficult language because of words like that. Ultimately, sticking with my main man, and the C3 Sicilian from Mr. Slow. I have 5 different systems I've played against the C3 Sicilian. None of them are good. This is one of the bad many. You should really learn something and learn it well. Now it's actually a Caro-Kann, which is fine. Fine by me. Everybody plays the Caro-Kann by transposition. Panov is basically isolated queen pawn game. Standard stuff. So I can play knight 65, or I can play just bishop g7. Honestly, I don't know the theory that deeply here, but you just have to kind of understand the ideas, I think. I've played with white as recently as last year, same position. It would be good to know theory against like an expert player here. I played bishop e2. I think that's the #1 move in the opening explorer, but everything is possible. Knight e2, bishop c4, bishop e2, bishop whatever. I don't know. I'm sure that pretty much every move is possible there. Specifically against knight f4, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do. Everything's possible, right? I know there's like one position where you're supposed to do this, but I'm not sure if it's right against knight e2. It's actually probably right against bishop e2. I'm not sure it's correct here. And trading queens is kind of wimpy, honestly. I couldn't find a better move. Like pawn sack with e6 doesn't look right. I can't do that there. He traded queens. Welcome to the active rook. Black should be alright. A lot of piece activity. And I haven't had an easy time playing these lines with white. Mostly draws. The games I've had. White's pawn structure isn't great. Neither is ours. All of these pawns are weak. Game Boy. Welcome, guys. We're taking challenges 5+3 casual. Don't forget to support the stream and donate. Send the care package, whatever. Let's survive this pandemic together. Hungary now has the highest, well, as of 2 days ago, we had the highest death rate. Maybe we've lost the crown, but I'm just trying to hunker down and survive. G3, that's a nice move. Looks like a good diagonal. Hello. Little Lionel Richie is always appropriate. Mr. Snowhand is the master of 2-second increment. He doesn't even need 3. But my 2-second increment is bad. I need to practice. I'm going to have to start playing like bullet, like 1+2 or something. I'm a principal. I've never played a single bullet game on lichess because I hate it. And I want to make a statement. But I feel like I should start playing 1+2 just for training purposes. Because my increment play with 2 seconds is horrible. Not because I want to play bullet, but I need to improve my speed when I'm playing with 2-second increment, like in 3+2 or any kind of +2. I'm too slow. 3 seconds is like luxurious. I know. I think a lot of people like approach these positions with the mentality of like, we've got to gang up on this pawn, but I mean, that's not the only way to play this. Now, having said that, maybe I should play Rook A5 here. Rook A5. Does this work? Rook A5. He's got Bishop D2. See, that's the kind of move that will only get me in trouble, ultimately. Materialistic. The double pawns eventually will fall. I mean, just have faith. I can't do the puzzle rush because I can't make moves in 2 seconds. It takes me 2.3 seconds to make a move. It's horrible. Because I've trained myself playing thousands of games with 3-second increment. Now I can't shake it. Now I can only play with 3-second increment. It's like a curse. Yeah, of course. G6 Panov. What else? I didn't mean to play a G6 Panov. It just happened by accident. I like the other lines better, but I don't like playing Mr. Slow though because he embarrasses me. He's got the 1800 rating, and every time he beats me, it makes me look bad. He's won like 3 out of his last 4 games or something. It started to ruin my reputation as a player, playing against him. He used to be like 2000, but I guess he sold out or something. He's getting low on cash, so he had to donate all of his rating points. This is a little tricky. I don't want to be too attached to this bishop. Actually, not a big deal. It's just a bishop. Wow, here comes the increment play. Good evening. Schieberspieler had a late night last night. Good evening, he says. There goes my A file. And that's not good. Good evening. Who else said that recently? Transylvanian jokes are rife with our friends around here. Rife. Another good word. Rife. You're attacking my knight? Dude. That's not even a knight. That's a bishop. He can't take all of my pieces at once. He is pretty unbelievable, though. And I still maintain that he's a bloody sandbagger. There's no way you can be 1800 in Blitz, Mr. Slow. It's not cool. Too strong. Wow. You can just do that instantly. He can pre-move. I mean, you're 1800. Are you serious? $1,700 in bullet? He has all kinds of excuses how he can do that. I don't understand. I guess he doesn't play with increment. If he played with increment, he'd be like 2,500 or something. I mean, you gotta be kidding me. How can you be 1,800 in Blitz and play like this? Chess is my rife. That's a new one. I guess it's winning, but I gotta be careful. be precise here. You must be the most underrated 1800 on lichess or something. Alright, he finally succumbed. Should I just take on f5? I don't know, there could be some freaky draw there. You know, I really don't want to do that. There could seriously be a freaky draw. Like, I just assume I'm winning and it's not a win in that kind of position. Now he got his knight trap, though. I'm going to screw this up as well. He's still tricky. h3, king f2. Now it's still a draw. It's unbelievable. It's almost like playing Virat Carlson, but worse. Dude, there's like no way you're 1800. I don't know, Shieber Speeder. I couldn't calculate that far. I don't have time. He's too fast and too strong. I'm not going to make any assumptions about that. Wow. I don't know. Can I win that? I didn't want to take the slightest risk. You know, I know that I'm winning here. I didn't want to stop to calculate some freaky king and pawn in game. Maybe it's winning. Like, take here. But he has the opposition. I'm winning, though. I was scared I would do something stupid. Yeah, okay, so I forgot that I just push. I thought he could take the opposition after king d5. That requires thinking. Yeah. I thought he was in the square of the pawn or something. Yeah, obviously it's winning. So apparently he was holding here, even down the exchange. I actually finished with 16 CPL. That's hard to believe. How can it be 16 CPL after screwing up a completely winning position? Are you sure the lichess analysis bot can be all right? How can I get 16 CPL throwing away a completely winning position at negative 3.8 and going back to equal? What? Dude, you should be like horsewhipped for that. You know, I should have like a CPL of like 40. Many moves. Okay. I mean, it's horrible that I had a winning position up the exchange. And then it makes it look like I played really well, when in reality This was an extremely annoying position. I guess this is a blunder. I don't know what I'm supposed to play. King f6 is secret move. Saving my pawn. Oh. If you don't see that, you know, you got a problem, because losing e7 and then this. Man, it wasn't easy after that. Oh no, Schieberspieler is challenging AD11. As long as you got 100 games, approximately, it's cool. Alright, we're taking the challenges as we get them. VIPs don't have preference here today. Yeah, so many moves make it better. It waters down my mistakes, basically. By playing like 80 moves, it makes my CPL better. Okay, what do we play against? Play like Kasparov. I just thought of something. I guess we play the King's Indian. Play like Kasparov. Okay? Kasparov would never play g4. It's not a good move. And how can somebody who plays the King's Indian play that? I don't understand. Like, seriously, this is a trashy variation for white. You have absolutely, I don't know, it's like playing the Mora Gambit against the Sicilian and being a Sicilian player. You cannot be a King's Indian player and play this garbage with white, dude. And Ivan Sokolov, what are you talking about? Ivan Sokolov, what did he do? Where did he play this? In some one game or something? I mean, the dude had like real systems against the King's Indian. This is not a serious suggestion. This is rubbish for white. What, he played it in an online game or something? I mean, the guy has real openings. He wouldn't play this. This is seriously bad for white. If you weren't a King's Indian player, it wouldn't bother me that much. But because you're trying to play the King's Indian with black, and then you're playing that with white, that's disturbing, you know? That's like I said, like a Smith-Morra player playing that crap against the Sicilian and being a Sicilian player. It doesn't make sense. You know, if you played other openings with black, I would accept it. But I don't accept this coming from someone who's trying to learn the King's Indian with black. It's just not a good variation. Unclear at best. You're basically, it's like the Smith-Morra is a draw at best for white. People are playing that, even though the best result among good players is a draw for white. This is kind of the same thing, like unclear at best. That's your best case scenario with white here. Not a good opening if your best result is unclear. This is garbage for white. I don't know here if I should put my knight on h5, e8, or d7. But I seriously think you should stop playing this. At least if you're gonna play like over the board chess, or if you're ever gonna seriously approach it. I know you played this against me once before, but it's not a good variation. Anyway, I don't think the engine recommends knight b5. I had no idea what that does. Well, he's attacking this, but when white is not developing his pieces. Well, if you're trying to find an aggressive opening, maybe you should play like e4. But trying to play d4 like you're playing against the Pirch defense in a King's Indian doesn't make a lot of sense. It's very trashy. Though I'm sure you've analyzed this with the computer. I would recommend not wasting your time and learn something good instead. I think we had the same game last time and he didn't play this move. This is some kind of improvement. So he uses no time. Alright. A6. I don't agree with your time use, and I don't agree with the system with white. If you want to be a professional online bullet player, maybe it's worth considering. But if you ever play over the board chess, you got to give this up. It's just like making your life difficult for no reason if you play this with white. You might be able to beat 2,000 players at best. But if you start playing really strong players, you'll have no chance. Or you'll just be like slightly worse with white, some kind of crazy position. Are you not going to castle like the whole game with your king on e1? It's a very strange way to play chess, man. Just don't play it anymore. I would say it's just bad. The problem is you're playing with weak players who don't understand chess, for the most part. I mean, people are playing. He's playing this opening based on his experience of playing like 7,000 lichess, 1800s. But that doesn't matter. On this site, no one knows any openings. But if you go to the real world, you're gonna have problems. It's not too far from Abrook's bishop e2, bishop e3 system. What? Dude, he played g4 on move 6. I haven't played e5 yet. I don't know. I can't condone that. I don't know, I think it's like, I just could have taken on f2. He's playing like a psychotic. Why do we have to play like Blitz like it's bullet chess? All or nothing, maniac style for no reason. It's internet. It's the internet. It's like 1 minute chess. This is destroying people's games. You know, I mean, that's clearly what's happening. This is what, 1 minute chess on the internet does to you. Like, White probably had a good position at some point, honestly, because I misplayed it. But I was like forced to play bullet chess, essentially. Here he has a good game. It looks like after rook c8, he could have played f4. Maybe at some point, he could have played f4. We both made a lot of mistakes. Just stop playing g4. Play something real. Play h3 and a normal system. But why are you playing g4? Play the Makhaghanov system. You can play g4 later when black plays e5. But why are you trying to play g4 before black's even played the King's Indian? It's also possible to play like h4, but I think that's equally garbage. You could say, well, Rishchuk played this, but that doesn't make it good, Jababa played it. Enough said. G4, Mamajarov played it. People have played it, but I just don't think it's good. H3 is slow. It's like White's best scoring move against the King's Indian. Dude, this is the best scoring move against the King's Indian. H3. You can't just pretend that you're playing the Yugoslav attack against the dragon or something with White. You've played c4. That's slow, You're not playing e4 here. You're playing c4, d4, e4, and then you're saying h3 is slow? It's slow to like move 17 pawns, I mean, you're playing h3 with c4. It's not a Pirt's defense or something. It's a King's Indian. This is slow, moving all your pawns. I don't know. I can't condone g4. You're equal at best. That's my lecture for today. All right, another challenge here. 5+3. It's just like coffee house. I think some guy played that against me in a tournament in Vegas. But you can't do it unless the center is closed. If I've played e5, it's okay to play g4, like in the Makhaghanov, or some kind of system where the center is closed. But if I can play a Benoni, I don't think that it's okay to do g4. Epic lecture. If I've played e5, you can castle queenside and attack me like a maniac. But I haven't played e5, and you can't castle queenside with my Benoni bishop on the long diagonal. It's important. But I'm surprised him, for being a King's Indian player. You would think one would know better. If you don't play the King's Indian yourself, it's like forgivable. You're going to see, you get good results against weak players. But, it's, try to play it against other players, like my rating, and see what happens. Your results are going to be much different than they were against the players who were like 1800. Got him. Yeah, that's an awkward plan. It's funny that, like, it was too late. He couldn't even play b3. I mean d3. If d3, knight takes e4 anyway, and I, like, take on c3, it's not good for white. I'm passionate about, you know, certain things. Like, I normally don't start a lecture about, but I'm very passionate about the King's Indian and the Sicilian and openings that I deeply love. You know, I think that it's my duty to say my feelings on this stuff. G4 seems, you know, I'd be lying if I sat here and I said I think it's okay. You know, the King's Indian defense I don't feature on the stream a lot because I think it's difficult to play, and I also cut back on playing it. I cut back on playing it, Morales, from around like 2000, maybe. Well, when I stopped playing a lot, you know. When I stopped playing really, really seriously around 2007, I sort of stopped studying, so I gave up the King's Indian. It requires a lot of, not gave it up completely, but for the most part, requires a lot of theoretical knowledge. But I mean, it was my only defense, my main defense to, it was my main defense to d4 for many, many years. But online it's different, you know. Well, there's many good ways to play against the King's Indian. Alright, next. I don't do rematches. I got Schieberspieler. Ugh. Dude. The thing is, I don't like playing King's Indian, as I said like 8,000 times on my stream, because it leads to closed positions that are hard to play in fast time controls. But I guess it's better to play it with black. I really should play it more. I've been playing mostly the Nimzo on my stream over the last 5 years. Your challenge is gone again. Where did it go? Schieberspieler. Schieberspieler is not streaming today, right? No Schieberspieler tournament. What's up, man? E4. Magnus Carlsen Jr. Horrible. Alright, what are we going to do? I mean, this is different, though. This isn't, like, bad. Oh, no. This is some kind of specialty variation. What did I do here? What did I do here? Did I play a bad move order? Wait, E5. Did I mess up the move order? Am I supposed to play bishop d7? I guess I'm supposed to play bishop d7. Dude, I had a game with an engine recently where they played like an 8 center pawn loss with white, and every single move was stockfish. It was very similar structure to this. You're playing like stockfish, Schieberspieler. But that's easy to do. I haven't heard back about the research into the computer cheater. The guy played 3 games in a row, and before me, my game, and after me, and all of them were like every single move was stockfish. But then he like went back to playing his normal games. So his thing was like He doesn't have an inflated rating, but it seems like every once in a while he'll just play a few games with the engine and then resume playing normally, just to kind of jack up his rating a little bit, I guess. I don't know. He'll play basically like 30 games a day and cheat like in like 4 or 5 of them. It's really weird. So if you look at like an average sample of his games, maybe you could figure out he's not cheating. But if you look at all of them, you see like 1 in 6 is like perfect moves. Every single move is like Stockfish number 1 choice. No, I mean this is easy. He's not. He's scared. He's good, but he's not doing anything, that difficult here. I mean the structure is just favorable for white. It's easy to understand. You're on bus traveling. Oh. I guess his internet is coming in and out. That was like when Nefedov used to be on the tube in London or something and try to play. I think that he's wrong, actually. Believe it or not, Schieberspiller might have made a mistake. It's hard to believe. But trading off my bad bishop is kind of a debatable decision. He's not as strong as the engine. That's my opinion. But it's still clear advantage to white here. Yeah, I screwed up the move order. I'm supposed to play bishop d7. That's weird. Ay, ay, ay. Schieberspiller's only problem is that he's sometimes a little too focused on time, I think. So he's not always making the very best move. But he makes up for it by being pretty good. He's making little inaccuracies to try to play fast, whereas I kind of try to really find the best move, but I get in time pressure in exchange, and I'll tend to blunder in time pressure. He's putting a little more priority on speed than I do, usually. It's a judgment call, when you're playing Blitz. Obviously depends on if you're playing increment or non-increment. So here we are. Ah. I don't know about this. I guess he could just play b3. Yeah, I know the kid from India. I lost a really painful game against him in the first round of a tournament last year. I had a huge advantage. I had out-prepared him, and I had a great game, but I got myself in some kind of weird time pressure against Mendonca. And It was crazy. I had more time and a clear advantage, and then I just thought in this one position for like 30 minutes and threw away everything. And then I lost an endgame I should have drawn. It was my first game in a while, but he's a good player. So let's see. Rook takes b2 was what I was thinking about forever. Rook takes b2. Check. See, here I'm not sure now. Schieberspieler probably didn't think that much about this. So what's going on here? Rook takes, queen takes. What if check? If I play rook takes, queen takes, I was hoping I had something. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like it works. I'm going to be losing. It's a funny hallucination. Alright, nah, it was good. It was good for white. I blundered in the opening, but I think I could have saved it. So, engine-like performance from Schieberspieler, but easy to do in the structure. It's already like clear advantage to white when I blundered, allowing e5. +1. It's a terrible position. It's probably almost strategically lost here. Bishop d7. Moksutu drew this position. Somebody even won. It's like ridiculous. How could you possibly win this with black? The pawn structure is just a disaster. Alright, another perfect game by Schieberspieler. Ninja Hathor. I just forgot he had rook e1 check, but I was expecting... If I play rook e6, queen e6, king f8, rook e1, and I'm lost anyway. So it doesn't really matter what I do there. You disagree with what? Yeah, speaking of Mendonca, he's playing here in some IM tournaments. It's ridiculous. Like, I guess there's hardly anywhere in the world where you can play now, but there's no way I'm getting 2500 GM title and then I'm playing in IM tournaments. I don't know what he's thinking. He just wants to stay active, but he's gonna hurt his rating by playing in those tournaments. It's a silly decision. He should just like study. For a young grandmaster to be playing in an IM tournament is a disaster. I just saw one yesterday. He just played in. He tied for first, but still not a good idea. Don't want to constantly put your rating on the line against lower rated players. Not going to gain points by consistently playing lower rated players. He's a very solid player though, very professionally trained. I know like he studied with Kramnik when Kramnik was there in India. He had like a camp and he was one of the players who was working with Kramnik. He's had a lot of training. There's a lot of money in chess in India, and a lot of players are getting extremely good training from players like Kramnik and others. Rook b8. All right. So this is what I played the other day against Kakatiri with white. I played the same variation. I understand that Mendonca like wants to stay active, but it's a mistake, you know. Yeah, exactly. Like pay some grandmaster to play training matches with you or something. Exactly. He could play like simulated matches with grandmasters here and get a lot more out of it than playing some silly IM tournament. I mean, that's something I would do, like playing in an IM tournament. Knight takes d5. Pawn takes d5. Bishop takes c3. What is happening? Does this work? I mean, clearly d5 is a mistake. Great idea, exactly. There's lots of players in Hungary who are like desperate for a job. There's no tournaments to play in. He could, for example, play training matches. Like even if they weren't rated, it doesn't matter. I mean, he would get the experience. You could probably get Hungarian GMs to play for a very low price. I guess he's helping the organizer here by playing in these IM groups. I mean, you know, the guy could go out of business. Did I lose a piece? Bishop a1, bishop takes f8. No. Bishop a1, queen a1. I'm not losing a piece, but I'm not sure what to do. Rook e8. Pawn takes c6. Bishop a1, queen a1, and then something like f6. I don't like that a lot. Man, I don't know. I missed bishop h6. Leaving my knight hanging. So what if I play knight e5? I'm losing the exchange, right? No. You are your worst opponent. Well, I've lost a lot of winning positions, personally. But yeah, we often are our worst opponent. I have a better score oftentimes against stronger players. I'm overpressing, sometimes against the lower rated players. Maybe not giving them enough respect. There's a lot of psychological stuff. Sub here, VIP. Any tips to get over that in classical games? Being your own worst enemy? Well, I talked about just now how my results would be different against like higher rated players versus lower rated players. I think there's a lot of psychology. I mean, probably good advice is trying to remain objective. Remaining objective at all times. Easier said than done. So after everything's cleared here, I could sack an exchange, but my c7 pawn is a little weak, and I only got a pawn for the exchange. This seems like the proper move. But I'm only equal after everything's said and done. Ninja Hator played in one of our tournaments and did very well. A while back. Maybe I'm mixing you up with someone else. I thought you were like 2100. Very strong play by white in this game. Now what, c5 maybe? It looks like white has a clear advantage. But I thought this player was 2100 last week. Now it's 1900. Weird. He's lost like 200 points since the tournament. He played in one of my tournaments and did very well on Tuesdays. Maybe I'm confusing him with someone else. I thought that was the account. Now he has just bishop g2, hanging a rook with brother. Trying to hang a rook. Some kind of very strong player. Now black has to struggle for a draw. He's 500 points lower than me. And I'm probably underrated. Not good. Well, I know there's a lot of 2,000 FIDE players on lichess who are like 2,600, which is kind of weird, but I'm a little underrated. But for 1944, Ninja is excellent. I'm about to lose on time. So let's check this. I was probably lost. I'm kind of interested in the opening. D5 looks like a blunder. It's not a blunder, wow. This is an actual variation. I mean, normally if White's going to play D5, he plays D5 right away. But it is a sideline. It's also the engine's #1 move. That's weird. So my move is a mistake. Or is it? I'm not that familiar with this. It isn't a mistake according to the engine. Or is it? Only 8 games where knight takes d5 was played. Okay guys, I've got about 20 minutes left. So time for like 2 more games. It's not a blunder, but it may not be the best move. I mean, it looks like most of the players play knight a5 here. It gives more complicated play. So all of this has been played before. I think bishop takes f3 is right. He's protecting his e2 square. And I thought I was equal, but it looks like that I'm slightly worse in this position. It might be a serious mistake to play knight takes f3 check, because the bishop guards, at the end the bishop guards that e2 pawn. It's better not to make that exchange. Still, black is like a tiny bit worse here. So it's like perfect play by white the whole game through queen e7. Like a grandmaster couldn't play better. And now I played a new move with bishop f5. I'm like hoping to induce e4. I guess it doesn't even work though. I just have a problem with my c7 pawn. So there's a couple games here. It's not a fun position for black. White is definitely not a 1900. Alright, we've already played this player. Grandmaster Ani and GM Ruthvik. I'm gonna play probably 2 more games. I ended up playing c5 at some point. Yeah, maybe I should have played it right away. Now that you mention it. D sparks. I played it like 1 move later, and I lost a sacrifice, I should say. I sacrificed the pawn, but maybe that could be improved. I can sacrifice the pawn right away. Well, it's not even a sacrifice. If I play c5 right away before bishop f5, he takes, I take en passant, and if he takes e6, the e2 is hanging. Yeah, maybe that's the best try. I still have a bad structure, and I'm still slightly worse. Like, it's a Tarash type of structure where I have hanging pawns. Bishop g5 is an interesting move. Antonio, yeah, your challenge wasn't there. I'll play you next. Guys, I only have time for 2 last games. So, gotta go. Queen a4 check. What? What? If bishop d7? If knight d7, he takes on e6, which is kind of annoying. Yeah, c7 is harder to defend than d6, I agree. It's probably an improvement. You know, probably a defensive improvement for black to go that way. It's still a very unpleasant position against a tactical player, let's say. I need to get my pieces developed here. I wasn't sure about my decision to play bishop d7 after queen a4 check, but e4 looks wrong. Maybe not. This pawn is very vulnerable on the open file. Smirin is a good King's Indian player. That's true. That's true. Smirin. Ilya. He's good with anything involving a kingside fianchetto with black. Grunfeld, King's Indian. Modern, Pearts. I had a similar game last week, or earlier this week, where bishop takes a6 was played against someone else on this stream. Bishop b5. You're not going anywhere, man. Stay where you are. Come out with your hands up. You have the right to remain silent. Alright, seriously. Where is everybody today? Next week we're back to normal schedule. I'll be doing longer streams. This week they were a little bit shortened by, unfortunately, by daylight savings time. We'll be back to a normal schedule starting Sunday. Wow. This didn't just happen. My bishop is trapped. He just castled queenside. Let's say it's not usual to castle queenside in the Leningrad Nimzo with white. I also haven't seen anyone play the Leningrad Nimzo in a long time, but I think it is a good system to some degree. It's especially good for white in the fact that people aren't well prepared for the Leningrad variation. This was a blunder, though. He should take with the rook on d3. My bishop... Maybe I'm wrong, though. He couldn't because of c4? Whoa. I didn't see that. Now I do. So if rook takes d3, I had c4. Creating massive complications. Maybe it wasn't so easy for him. Maybe I should have kept the queens on there. I think I made a mistake. If I take on d5, I'm going to lose this pawn on d6. It's not worth it. I should have kept the queens on. With his king in this position where it's open, it's more open than my king. Mostly that was a serious error. Wow. Alright. This is getting weird. I have to play c4, give him a really good square for his knight, but my bishop compensates. Not at all an easy game. We got time for one more game with Morales after this. Now, Morales, your challenge disappeared. What are you doing there? Are you on the train as well? He's 1400. 1700 Blitz. 1400 Bullet. 17 Rapid. That's a problem here. If I lose this position. Rook b4. Whoa. Wow. Black structure is wrecked. White's is good too. Excellent. I mean, the only thing that's not wrecked is those 3 pawns over there. I'd rather have, you know, an extra wrecked pawn than no pawn at all. Interesting position. One last game with Morales coming up. What? You're offering me a draw? Down a pawn with no time, and you're 1700 lichess and 1400 in bullet. Alright, whatever. Good luck with that. Why would you offer a draw there? You missed a strong move, actually. Rook e4. Oh, shit. Maybe I'm losing after rook e4. Wow. I don't like that, though, when people do that to distract you. They start offering draws to distract you during your play. It's really bad. It's really, really bad sportsmanship. People will automatically offer draws and time pressure just to kind of mess you up. I think he was actually winning a piece for a moment there. That's pretty sick. I don't know how he could be 1400 in bullet. And now he goes into a lost king and pawn game. You see a lot of that. Alright, weird. Was he winning a piece when I blundered with rook takes? He offered to draw for the psychological upset, and immediately I blundered, right? Somehow I'm not losing a piece. Oh my god, there's a miracle. So rook b4, rook e4, rook b1 check. Check this out. Otherwise I'm losing a piece. Just complete dumb luck that I'm not losing a piece there. Well, I've got the bishop versus knight. You know, all those isolated pawns can be passers. I'm not that worried about my structure. I was never at risk of losing. I was always better. But apparently he was equal. He has enough compensation here. Not a bad game by white. But I just want to show that one position where he decided which way to take on c3. He could take either bishop. I thought I had c4. This is literally another move I was like, I missed, but I would have seen it at the last second. c4, forking him, and here. So he actually made the right decision there to take, I thought, to take on c3. Alright, last game against Morales. But I don't recommend castling queenside in that type of position. Maybe it was his only choice at that point, though. Alright, last game. Morales. What are we going to do? Anti-Morales? Anti-Pav. Let's play something different. I don't know what you play against the Trumpowski, but I don't really play the Trumpowski. Just messing around here. We're just messing around with you. I don't know the last time I played the Trumpowski. I've run out of things. I've played 200 and 345. I played 344 games against him. 346 actually. 347. This is game 347. When you've played 347, you run out of things to play. I mean, this is an old line of the Trumpowski that I remember from the 90s being popular. Black should be one of Black's better variations, I guess. But I don't know how white is supposed to play this sort of setup. Morales played, this is the main line, bishop h6 probably. f5 is also common as far as I remember. I never played this line with Black though. I wanted to make him think for himself. What does he play against? D4, knight f6, knight f3. Yeah, he's playing... he doesn't really have something he's happy with, I don't think, there. That's also a good anti-Morales move. Alright, I need to develop my pieces. I'm a little concerned about bishop e4. I mean, that can't be a good move. He does have a fascination with castling queenside, so we may see that. But I have no experience on the white side of Trompowsky. It's not popular these days like it used to be. Guys, we're going to be back on Sunday. Sunday simul, 6:30 CET. I don't know about team battle. I haven't heard anything about that. I'll let you know when I know something. But for now, we're doing the Sunday simul. That's definitely on. At 6:30, my flagship event. Simul on Sunday, 6:30 CEST now, summertime. With 25 players here on lichess and Twitch. Very active play by Morales. You can't say he's not an active player. He likes pieces. Likes to play with the pieces. JCS, good to see you here, by the way. I didn't... Thank you for coming by. Nice to have a moderator in the chat. Keep the trolls in line. Sadly, I can't stream longer. I would normally be streaming for another hour or close to it. But we're out early this week due to the craziness of daylight savings time messing up my whole schedule. Finally back to coordinated time zones starting on Sunday. Astrobate, thanks for watching. Thanks for playing Morales. Now it's time to lose on time. Queen A5. You're just not going to castle at all? Wow. I was anticipating no castling whatsoever. I mean, now I'm considering that's what's going to happen here. No castling whatsoever is called. What about F4? You know, screw it. I should play F4. I'm being too dogmatic. The niceties of not creating pawn weaknesses. I mean, it's too much, man. Now his knight is trapped on G4. Oof. I almost didn't play this. Well, I mean, there are tactics like H3. My knight is unprotected, so I have to be a little bit careful. Thanks, Astrobate. That's very complimentary. We need more people like you openly sleeping through the stream. So knight G6. It's a little like the Scotch where you're playing knight B6. That's why I made you a VIP, so you could sleep through my streams. Nice. More and more complimentary every day. Now what? There he is. Killer of bishops. A5. Should I go for it? Before it's too late? He could have closed it up there. I mean, he could have opened it up with takes on A5. Possibly. Secret to the Trompowsky is knights. Lots of knights. And lots of closed pawn structures. I want to keep my knights, thank you. It was a nice night for a stroll. Oh no. No. We found the secret, the anti-Morales Trompowsky. Thanks everybody for watching. We're going to be back. We will be back with a normal schedule next week. And kicking some butt here. So, thanks everyone supporting the stream. Again, back to regular schedule. Starting Sunday, CEST, Central European Summer Time, from 6:30 p.m. Simul for 25 players. Thanks, JCS. Thanks for all of our VIPs. Morales, Asterbait. Thanks to Mr. Coffee, who's not here. Thanks to you guys for supporting the stream by subscribing. Thanks for following. We had follows from FM Chick, Itsy Witsy, Hendel, and Merck. Kings4257. Thanks everybody for following. We'll see you all on Sunday. Bye bye. Bye bye, guys.